What's up, good people? It's your man, Investing with Cam. I just wanted to come on here today to give you guys an update. I had posted a video a couple of days back with a plan that I had put into place, but those ideas or that plan has changed, I should say. And so, as you can see up top, I have a few Bitcoin, not many, a few Dogecoin, very, very small amount of Ethereum and some PayPay as well, which I actually tried to sell out of the Doge, the Ethereum, and the PayPay, and that's what I was left over with. But I do have a small amount of crypto. But the reason why I'm on here today is I want to focus on the stocks and the ETFs, which is the most important thing. And so if you see here, I have my AIPI, which is my favorite ETF. And underneath that, I have RealtyO, which is a monthly paying stock. I have Main Street Capital, which is also a monthly paying stock. And then I have here JEPQ, which is another ETF, which pays out monthly as well. And so, like I said on that previous recording, I had Chevron and Coca-Cola and Prudential and several other stocks, and I did a little bit more research, and so I just completely dummied it down or narrowed down what I'm going to do to these four stocks in particular. And reason being that they're all monthly paying stocks, and they all have, except for maybe AIPI because it hadn't been out that long, but as far as RealtyO, Main Street Capital, and JEPQ, they have proven to be extremely reliable when it comes to the dividend payouts as well as the stock price itself. Now, JEPQ, with it being an ETF, the distributions, they vary month to month, and then as well the stock price is not as stable as a RealtyO or a Main Street Capital, in which any stock can go down in a matter of days or a matter of hours and then shoot back up in a matter of days or a matter of hours. So that's not really my main focus, but at the same time I do want to invest in stocks or ETFs that are reliable, to where they're not going to completely just plummet in price and or stop paying out their dividends, in which, for example, RealtyO has been paying out dividends for at least 27 years, and for the most part as well, those dividends have increased over those 27 years. Main Street Capital has been paying out dividends for almost or over 18 years, and those dividends have steadily increased as well. JEPQ has been paying out distributions for 2 years because it hasn't been around as long as some of the others, and then AIPI is headed into a year in a couple of months as far as paying out its distributions. And so, like I say, I'm invested in these four stocks mainly in order to build up my future wealth, so I can have money to retire on, or if I need money, I can just reach out and grab some money from any of these four stocks or ETFs that I have. And then as well, on that last video, I was trying to achieve the goal of being paid a distribution or a dividend every week of every year, in which with these four stocks, I'm not going to get a distribution or a dividend every week, but I will be getting a distribution and or a dividend pretty much every week of the year. The only week I won't receive a distribution, for the most part, in which things can change, will be the third week of each month, where I won't receive a distribution or a dividend for the most part. For example, like AIPI, they normally pay out the last Friday of the month. RealtyO as well as Main Street Capital, they normally pay out the second Friday of every month, and then JEPQ normally or typically pays out every first Friday of each month. And so I got that set up to where, like I say, 1 week is not going to hurt me or break me, I hope. And so I'll actually get a dividend or a distribution every first week, every second week, and every last week of each month of the year. And as you can see with AIPI, I have 60 shares, which is going to be my largest holding for a while, because I'm going to invest more money into AIPI just because its dividend yield or its distribution yield is 31%. Realty O is 5.82%. Main Street is 7.9%, and then JEPQ pays out about 11% dividend yield. And so they all have considering high dividend or high distribution yields. And like I say, AIPI, I'm going to build it up first to where I can get about 500 to 600 shares, which at this price point that the AIPI is trading at, I would need over 20 grand invested. So that's going to take me some time at this point, unless something changes, to get to that amount. And then I'll start investing more into Realty O, Main Street Capital, and JEPQ. In which, like you see here, I don't have many shares whatsoever of each one of these. I have roughly invested about $35 into each one at this point in time. And like I say, just over time, I'm just going to invest a little at a time, because every little bit helps. And it's going to take a lot of money invested in these stocks or ETFs to actually see some considerable amount of money. I mean, with $10,000 invested in Realty O, Main Street Capital, and JEPQ, Realty O, I'll be making about $580 every year. Main Street, I'll be making about $790 every year. With JEPQ, I'll be making about $1,100 every year. And that's off of $10,000 invested. So we're talking about having to invest quite a bit of money if someone's wanting to retire with these stocks or ETFs. You're going to need, I would say, $100,000 at least invested in each one of these, and more so AIPI, because AIPI is going to be that base. Because you're talking about 100 grand invested in AIPI will pay you out $31,000 a year. Realty O, you're only looking at $5,800 a year. Main Street, $7,900, and then JEPQ, you're looking at roughly about $11,000 a year. And so when you put those numbers together, you know, if you're single or if you don't need a whole lot to live off of, then it may be enough for you to retire with $400,000 invested and $100,000 into each one of these stocks or ETFs. But the beautiful thing about Realty O and Main Street is that they have been growing their payouts, their dividend payouts. Over 10 years, Main Street has grown about 3.8% as far as its dividend. And I don't have the percentage for Realty O, but I look back at the history, and it's been, you know, a couple of pennies or 10 cents at a time that it's been increasing over the years. But they have increased. And not only that, though, they have only increased in their stock price too. So overall, they're both up as far as their stock price, unlike some of these other stocks and some of these ETFs. And like AIPI right now at this point is down overall, but it has been going back up in share price. I mean, in a matter of about 2 months, it's gone back up about $6 or $7 in its share price, just because the market has turned around. And not only that, the stocks that AIPI holds have gone back up in price as well. And as you can see, I am up on AIPI, $195, and I'm up a few cents on Realty O, Main Street, and JEPQ. But that's what I'm doing right now. Like I say, my plans have changed, and so I won't receive a payout for the most part every third week of each month, but all of the other weeks I'll receive some type of payout. And I do understand that I'm going to have to invest quite a bit more, most definitely in the Realty O, Main Street Capital, and JEPQ, in order to see some type of meaningful distribution. But I'm in it for the long run. I don't want to rush anything, even though I would love to be able to get wealthy overnight. But in reality, we have to face the facts and know that typically to build wealth, it takes years to do so. And so, like I said, I'm in it for the long run. And just as of today, I invested another $20 into Realty O, another $20 into Main Street, another $20 into JEPQ. And then come next week is when I'm going to buy at least, I would say about 3 more shares of AIPI come next week, because I did put in a sell put option to where I received a little over $300. And so, like I said, I took $60 of that $300, put it into Main Street, Realty-O, and JEPQ, and then I'm going to take about $120 of that and invest it in the AIPI, and then take 100 of it and put it into my spending account. But that's what I'm doing right now, and I hope I hadn't messed up anyone's plans, but that initial plan is a good plan, but it's just going to take a lot more time and a lot more money in order to start seeing meaningful distributions and payouts, in which with this 4 stock or 2 stocks and 2 ETF option or plan that I'm running, it's going to take a lot less time in order to start getting paid out meaningful distributions and dividends. But once again, it's your man Investing with Cam. Don't hesitate to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you guys are doing in the comments, and negative and or positive, I respond to all comments. I don't take anything personally, and I hope everybody has a great and prosperous weekend and rest of your week, and let's make some money together. Talk to you soon.